Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What the fastest? Make we chat about it. Or on left, make we chat about it. Check and feel at the topic. Oh, make we chat about it. Latest news, make we chat about it. All your views, make we chat about it.
Track and feel chat for set. With the girl HP.
Hey. Good evening. It is another Thursday evening. And of course, I am back here with exciting track and field chat, discussion, interview, whatever you want to call it. Thank you for being here once more already. I'm seeing where some people have joined us. Regina Montague, thank you very much for being here. Ozzy, thank you very much for being here, guys. You are early. Wherever you're tuning in from, thank you very much for making the time to be here. And I hope you guys are having a great week so far, because tonight we are going to be talking to a very interesting person, a very interesting lady, two-time Olympian, 1972, 1976. But I'm not going to give it away because I want her to tell her story. Tonight, my guest is none other than, drum roll, my guest tonight is none other than LELEITH HODGES, Olympian LELEITH HODGES. And I'm not going to tell you guys anything about LELEITH. I want LELEITH to tell her story. And LELEITH, good night and welcome to HP Chat Track. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
Great. And we're just going to get into it, LELEITH. We're going to give them the juice, let them know who you are, what you're about, and everything. Before you became a superstar Olympian and track athlete, tell me a little bit about LELEITH HODGES. Who was LELEITH HODGES as a little girl, where you grew up and what it was like?
Well, I grew up in Islington, St. Mary. And as a little girl, I used to love to run. And one evening, actually, my mom, my dad, and myself were going back home after visiting my grandmother. And so I said, Dad, let's race, because I used to always want to run. And he looked at me and he said, what? Are you crazy? I said, no, let's run, because I was 11 years old. He said, no, I couldn't do that. So my mom said, go ahead and run. She wants to run. And so we decided to race. We decided where the finish line was. And so the race was on. And I got to the finish. And then I turned around and I looked and I saw my dad still trying hard to catch up with me. So my mom thought it was so funny because he was trying so hard and he was in shock that I beat him, so
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old, yes. And so the next morning or the next day, my cousin went and told Douglas Clark what had happened. And he came over and he talked to my mom and she started laughing again because she laughed so hard. Tears were coming. And so he decided that he would train me to run.
Wow.
And that's how I got started.
So your first coach was actually your dad?
No, he wasn't. I was just running for running, just run. I see the dog and I want to chase the dog just to run. And then when I beat my dad, then my cousin told Douglas Clark, who became my coach. Yes. And so that's how I really got started.
Great story. You're an outstanding athlete from St. Mary High. You went to St. Mary High School. Tell me a little bit about your transition to St. Mary High School. Was St. Mary High School your first choice?
Well, What happened is after primary school, then I actually went to continuation high school, which was a private high school. And then because of running and doing well, then I got a scholarship to St. Mary High School. And so
Okay.
that's how I started running for it. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your journey at St. Mary High School.
Well, I never spent a long time at St. Mary High School, but it was a good one. I was a little disappointed at the champs because I was favorite to win, but I came second.
Who did you came
De-
second to? Who defeated?
Debbie Byfield beat me.
Oh, Byfield.
And that was the only time because shortly thereafter we went to the junior Carifta game and both of us ran in the same race and I won the race. So she never beat me after that.
Wow, interesting. The legacy, you left a legacy behind at the St. Mary High School, and 1976 and 1977, your school won girls' champs. Tell me a little
Yes.
bit, when you heard that St. Mary High won girls' champs, tell me a little bit about your emotions and knowing that you left a legacy behind that led to this success.
It was a good feeling, but I also knew that I did leave that legacy, but Jackie carried it on with excellence.
And we're talking
So
about Jackie
Jackie
Pusey.
Pusey, yes. So I wasn't surprised. I was just happy, that it continued so effectively.
Wow, interesting. Um, NCAA and your professional career, you made the Jamaican Olympic team at age 17.
Well, it's actually 19.
19.
Yes, yes. That was
19,
that was in 1972.
1972.
Yes,
1972.
yes,
As a teenager,
yes.
tell me a
Yes.
little bit
That
about that
was that
feeling.
was that was really um not my best experience, and that's because of that's the year when you had the hostage takeover and where we were staying. Our village was next to that building where those hostages, some of them were even killed. So it was really a sad moment because when you go to the Olympics, you have so much going on. A lot of things that you can have fun about. Go if you feel like going to the discotheque, if you feel like going to play ping pong ball, if you feel like doing things. But that morning when we came out and all of this was happening, it just put a damper on the entire village. So it's not a happy moment for me, because no one wants to know that you're there to represent your country, and just to know that, oh, politics playing such a role and disrupting the process. So that was really a moment that I wish never happened in the
Wow.
72. And I actually been to three Olympics in 72, 76, and 80.
Oh, you were actually at the 1980 games in Russia.
Yes.
But you know something, Lilith? I'm going to call you special. You are special, and I'm going to tell you why. You were only, research show me that you were only competing like 3 months out of the year during the summer.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that journey where you only competed in the summer and yet you were still able to make three Olympic teams.
Well, we competed in the summer, but we prepared. I prepared prior to competing, you see. And so you look forward to your hard work paying off. And that's what happened. My hard work prior to this summer just paid off.
What was your secret though?
Just hard work and determination. Hard work and determination. Because when when Douglas Clark told me at age 16 or 17 that he was training me to run for Jamaica, I thought he was crazy because I never thought it was possible. I never had enough confidence that I could have made the Jamaica team. So in 1970, but in 1971 it happened. And so I'm like, wow, yeah, I really can do it. And I told myself, well, I am going to work as hard as I can to accomplish as much as I can.
While in college, you were dominant. You were a dominant force. You defeated one of track and field greats, Evelyn Ashford, not just at the collegiate level, not just defeating her, but you smashed her record. Tell me a little bit about that race between Evelyn and yourself.
Okay, that was the 1978 AAU,
78,
at the
yes.
time AAU championship. And I was determined to really make a difference. And the meet was at UCLA. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Evelyn Ashford goes to UCLA. But then you also had Brenda Moorhead,
Mm-hmm.
which was running better than Evelyn. But for some reason or other, Moorhead and myself found ourselves in the same heat. Evelyn had her heat, by herself, but it was at UCLA. And so we were forced to wait a minute because at the time, Moorhead was a world class
Mm-hmm.
sprinter. And so we are in the same heat. And I would say, okay, well, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to beat you because I don't do that. I prefer beat you on the track rather than beating you with my mouth.
You
And
don't run up your mouth, right?
and so I was determined to say, okay, I'm going to get a good lane because usually when you run in the heats, most times it determines where you end up in the final because they put you in lane accordingly. And so I said, I'm going to have to put a good time on that record.
But
And so,
Lily, 100 meters, everybody is in a straight
this,
line. Does it really matter? Does lane matter?
it shouldn't, but it does because if you because Moorhead and myself, we came in with the same time in the heats, and that's when I clocked my fastest time ever because it was so intense. And as it turned out, we were the two fastest people on the track because Evelyn Ashford actually came third in the final. So we were forced to compete against each other from the beginning. And we ran faster in the heats than we did in the final. And so when you have two people running so close in time, you want to keep them together because it's easier to determine who the winner is. And so
Were you nervous though? Were you nervous that your main rival was next to you?
I was more determined. Yes, we're always going to be nervous. When you're going to run a race like that, your adrenaline is flowing, And so I was nervous, but I was determined. So I'm going in there with this determination and the nervousness where the adrenaline is flowing, you're going to go. And that's where I run my fastest time.
Wow, you certainly did. You certainly did. You went to Texas Women's University. There are some familiar names from Jamaica who was also an alumnus to this university. Ruth.
Oh, yes.
Tell me a little bit about competing against Ruth and Dorothy, even though Dorothy was in the field.
Mhm. Well, I really did not compete against them, so to
Okay.
speak. Well, what happened is we had a sprint relay team, and one of the lady on the team got hurt, and Ruth decided, okay, I'll fit in for her, and so Ruth was running the anchor leg on a sprint relay team. Ruth is a quarter miler. Ruth really does not run sprint.
Are we talking about Ruth Williams Simpson on a
Simpson,
sprint
yes,
relay team?
yes,
Tell
yes.
me a little bit about
so,
that.
so we were okay, so we were there with Ruth, myself, and two other American girls. Now, Ruth would be the slowest person on the anchor leg all time. Everybody on there. Tennessee State had four people in the finals of the 100 meters. Brenda Moorhead is from Tennessee State. Brenda Moorhead is the second fastest person on the track behind me. Well, we were on the same leg. We were running the same leg. She started for her school, I started for, but that's the position I always run. Ruth is on the anchor leg. Now, Dr. Lyle, our coach, came to me and he said, honey, I want you to run the fastest turn you have ever run in your life. I'm like, okay, Dr. Lyle. But the girl that I'm handing the stick to, she was scared. And she came to me and she said, Lily, please don't run me over. And I said, no, I won't run you over. All you're going to have to do is do what I tell you to do. When you get your mark, you watch that mark and you don't move until I hit that mark. When I hit that mark, you worry about nothing else, but you're going to listen to my voice, listen to my command that you're used to because we're practicing. And I say, I'm going to say reach. Now, for Dr. Lyle, unforgivable sin is dropping the baton. He won't forgive you for that. So I said, Stephanie, just block out every other voice on that field and you listen to me. And see, when you run a relay, you have to act as relays is my passion. When you run a relay, you have to sometimes make quick decisions based on the situation. I know that if she takes off too early, I'm going to have to call her a little early because by me calling her early, she's going to have to put her hand back and that will slow her down and that will give me enough time to catch her. But I told her, I said, when I say reach, just go, keep your hand back, do not feel for the stick. And that's exactly what she did because Dr. Lyle knows that Brenda Moorhead is fast. And if Tennessee State, even though because they had four people, they were the favorite to win that relay. And I got to her and she took off just like I told her to, and we just went around. And the stand was it was just crazy because people were not expecting TW because I was the only one sprinter in the final of the 100. So nobody was expecting TW to win that relay. And I tell you, when Ruth grabbed that stick, you think that Ruth was a full sprinter. I mean, 100-meter sprinter. She took off. Of course, it's going to close because she's a good person. But by the time they catch her, the race was over.
Ruth was gone. Where
Ruth
is
was gone.
Ruth? Where is Ruth Williams Simpson? Before we go any further, Lilith, I just want to say hi to some people on the live. Vivian Spence Morana is there. Vilma Charlton, hi. Marlene Green, Dorothy Scott, welcome each and everyone. You know something, Lilith? I'm listening to you talking about the relay, and I love the relays. And you sound like you could be a relay person, a relay coach,
Well,
based on how you're explaining it, because it's not always about speed. It's about strategy.
and I will tell anybody that if you think because you beat, and that brings me to the fact that I was pregnant. I got pregnant while training for the LA Olympics. And so to this day, if you ask Vilma will tell you it's because I'm the cause of Jamaica not getting a medal. Because after running the first leg for 13 years, that's the first time I was going to be off, and that's the first time they dropped the stick.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No, it was most disappointing. But you don't you have to be careful. If the person takes off, you see you have that zone. You have to get the stick, the exchange
Within that
within that
zone. Keep it
zone.
within the zone.
Yes. And as long as you have that stick, you're in full control of the entire race because
No man.
nobody is going anywhere without that stick. And I try to tell the girls that I train with because they were so much younger than we were because we went to school at a later age. And so because we worked before and most of them just left high school and went to college. So I
Mm-hmm.
was always telling them, if I have this stick, I'm in control of the race. You don't
Yes.
have eyes in the back of your head. I am seeing you and I am watching for that mark. And if I see that you take off too early, I'm going to call you. So it's harder for you to run out of that zone. And therefore, we are going to get this stick around.
We are going to talk about some relays later on, not too long from now. But I just want to highlight, I love this part. I want to highlight some of your achievements because many times I realize that the athletes do not pay attention to their achievements. You are a three-time Olympian, 1972, 1976, 1980. You are the 100-meter record holder for the intercollegiate athletics for women championship 1978. 1978 and 1979, you were the 100-meter champion again. You were the 100-meter champion and record holder for the Amateur Athletic Union National Championship. You were the national record holder for Jamaica 1978 for the 100 meter. You also you were inducted in the Texas Women's University Hall of Fame 1999. You were Jamaica Sportswoman of the Year 1978. No, not a lot of people can boast that they were Sportswoman of the Year. You were Sportswoman of the Year 1978. You were ranked number two, the number two sprinter behind Germany's Marlies Gar. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
that, 1978. You graduated with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Physical Education, 1982. And you just keep repeating. Now, I want you to tell me, how is it that you balance a job, running, and school? What was your secret behind this success?
It's just discipline. If you want something badly, you will do what you have to do to get it. And even Dorothy, Ruth also worked even on campus. So it's not easy. It wasn't easy. But then, like I always tell my kids, so sometimes you just have to go that extra mile if you really want to accomplish something. And so I just say, okay, this from this time to this time, I have to go to work. From this time to this time, I'm putting away to study. And from this time to this time, I will practice.
Wow.
And,
Are you a
and
disciplinarian?
well, I try to be.
1980. 1980 came, and of course, injuries, a little injuries
Yeah,
came, but that did not stop you. And as you said, I was going to ask you what was your motivation, but you just said discipline. And when you want something, you go after it. Tell me about this famous race between you and Merlin Otti at the National Championship 1981, where you and Merlin Otti finished first and second. Tell me about that
yeah,
race with you and Merlin.
yeah. That was a tense moment. I um I was experiencing some problems with my back,
Mm-hmm.
but I every time I go on the track, and every time all these athletes go to the track, you go to win. So in order for you to win, you're going to do the best you can. You're going to do what you have to do. And so the race went on. The 100 meters is a split-second race. At the time, she was faster. She ran faster. She won the race. But at the end of the day, Jamaica was first and second.
Indeed, I love that. I
Yeah,
like that.
at the
I
end of
l-
the day,
it
nobody came
is
between
Jamaica
us.
1-2.
Nobody
Yes,
came between us. So
yes. I like
it's
that.
all good.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that approach. You had a fabulous collegiate career and, of course, senior career. How did you know when it was time to retire from the sport?
Actually, I was forced to retire
You
because
were
I got
forced. Tell me a
pregnant.
little bit about that. Tell me.
Yeah, it just so happened that, I was training for the LA Olympics and I got pregnant. And
Okay.
so I was forced to just stop. So, Miss
But
Charlton, it's not just me. You have to blame my husband.
but the thing is that sometimes you have people who they get pregnant, have their baby, and come back.
Yes, that's true. But that was not in my that no, that was not my intention of coming. I felt like at the time I was about 30 years old and I wanted to make room for the younger girls. So I
Beautiful.
wanted to be there for the kids, for
Hmm.
my son. And so I was working and I was working many hours and I had that goal in mind when I started working. And so, in order for me to fulfill that goal, I couldn't keep training.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Before we continue, I just want to say welcome each and everyone. I'm having a discussion here with one of Jamaica's outstanding athlete, outstanding Olympian, outstanding person, LELEITH HODGES, from formerly of St. Mary High School. Daniel England, welcome, welcome. Do you know the name Daniel England, LELEITH?
Geez, sometimes, yes.
You know the name, yes. Another outstanding athlete for Jamaica at the junior level. Auntie Dorothy, welcome each and everyone. Heather Pusey is on the live. I think Heather Pusey is the sister of Jackie Pusey,
Hmm.
if my memory serves me
Yes. Hmm.
correctly. Welcome, Heather Pusey. I know that Jackie wanted to be here tonight, but I think she has to work, but Jackie will be on very, very soon. Regina Montague, an outstanding athlete from Titchfield High School in Portland. Welcome. Miss Vilma Charlton, another outstanding Olympian. Vivian Morano, another. Welcome, each and everyone. Thank you for being here, whether you're watching from Facebook or YouTube. Let us continue with one of my favorite all-timer, LELEITH HODGES. LELEITH. Let us talk about um, when you look back at your career, high school, college, the Olympics. How satisfied are you?
I am satisfied because felt, I feel like I did. accomplished. I have an accomplishment and I left a legacy.
You certainly did.
So yes, I am quite satisfied. Unfortunately, because I really wanted to, one little disappointment is that I wanted to win that Commonwealth Games in 1978, and because
Okay.
of my back, that was my big disappointment. That was that was a little thing that I can say, goodness, you
And
know.
you know something, that was the other question I was going to ask you. If when you look back at your career, if you had any regrets.
Right, that happened because I I was winning the race. I was really, I mean, I got out and I was winning, but just something just happened, and it just hindered me from continuing the way I started, or and finishing the way I wanted to finish. So that's my big disappointment.
Injuries can be so
Yeah.
brutal sometimes.
Mm.
Sometimes. Let us talk about your alma mater a little bit. St. Mary High School. I this is the part where I ask, the past student to talk about their alma mater a little bit and, try to get support for their program. Only a handful of schools can boast that they've won girls' champs. St.
Mhm.
Mary High has done it twice, back to back, 1976 and 1978. How can do you think St. Mary High can get back to the party where they can challenge for that title?
I think that anything is possible. And as a past student, I was talking to someone the other day and said, we have to do something. We have to do more. Because to be honest, I'm guilty of not doing enough. But also one of my problem is that I really am based in Ghana because my husband is from Ghana. So
Okay.
yes, so I'm not always here in the United States. But
Okay.
I think that um, I would like to be more proactive. I would
Mm-hmm.
like to make an effort to help St. Mary High School to come back in whatever way I can. And I think,
Yes.
we were just talking about that in our group the other day, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
I will follow through on that.
Yes, yes. A lot of schools need help. Before we
Yes.
go further, let me just welcome Ethelyn Tate. Ethelyn Tate is also there. Welcome, Ethelyn. Tyreek Fuller, everyone on. Thank you so much. Lilith,
Mhm.
Very Technical was going for 19 straight wins at Girls
Wow.
Champs, and St. Mary High spoiled that party by winning, as I said before, 1976, 1977, winning back to back. What would you say was a secret behind that success, back to back championships in the 70s
For St. Mary High School?
for St. Mary High School, right?
Well, you see, they had good support. They have good Jackie was there.
Right,
And
yes.
Jackie was a very good leader for them because they were motivated. And see, that's why some of the time you need motivation,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and they had her. And I think that was a really big part
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
of what
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
happened.
Yeah, yeah.
And if we can rally behind who the St. Mary High School right now, we can come back because
Yes.
I think that we have talent in St. Mary.
Yes, and St. Mary High has a very good alumni in terms of the people who the school have produced in terms
Mhm.
of some in entertainment, some in sports, some in
Mhm.
all kind of different things. And as you rightfully said, Jackie being there was good for the school because
Mhm.
Jackie even had a cheer. There was a cheerleading
Mhm.
song that was
Mhm.
named after Jackie.
Mhm.
Something about run, Jackie,
Jackie
run,
run,
something.
don't make me win
You know?
relay. Run, Jackie,
Yes,
run, make me
yes,
fly away. Yes,
yes. So,
they had
so,
that. So they were really motivated.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I think we need that back.
Indeed, indeed, yes. You guys need to get back there. St.
Yeah.
Mary High School can boast that they have produced Olympians, world beaters, star
Hmm.
athletes. Do
Hmm.
you think that the school track and field legacy is being promoted enough within the school community? People like you, people like Jackie Pusey, people like Nicole Mitchell, and others who have gone through the school and become Olympians. Do you think schools in general are promoting you guys enough within the school?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
I don't think
I
so
just think
either.
that they can do a much better job.
Yeah, I think so too. They need to use you guys
Yeah.
as influence to motivate,
Yeah, because
potential athletes, you
yeah,
know.
yes, because I remember when we were in college, we would actually go to track meet to try to recruit high school girls, high school athletes. And what they would do is say, yes, we have LELEITH Hodges, and we have Ruth Simpson, and we have Dorothy Scott, and we have, and so they used us, and kids would come because they want to go where the action is, you know.
I'm going to read something for you. Dorothy, who is a very technical girl, she's saying St. Mary won 1976 because very technical entries were late and they weren't allowed to defend their title. So Dorothy, let me ask you, what happened 1977?
Exactly. Tell me.
So Veer is defending. Veer is in the house defending. But I love it. I just love it. I just love it. If you were called upon to call out your alumni for support for the track and field program, what would you say right now to St. Mary High School past students? Call them out. Say something to them in support for the track and field program.
Well, the first person I'm really reaching out to is Jackie. Say, Jackie, listen, we have to do something. We have to do better.
Yeah, indeed, indeed, indeed. Okay, with that said, we are going to go into a segment that I like because this is where I ask you random questions where, we kind of wind down a little bit. Every Jamaican have or had a nickname. What is your nickname?
Oh, oh, I don't know. But pint
You never
size?
had a nickname, Lily?
What? Yeah. Well, the one reporter called me pint size. 1 pint, pint size.
Okay. Oh, you're like about 5 feet, 5 feet tall, right? Five
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that in my research.
Yeah. And so, but I don't remember having a
You
nickname
are one of the lucky ones
per
not to
se.
have. You're one of the lucky ones not to have a nickname, out
No.
of Jamaica. But while growing up, were you influenced or fancy to play another sport apart from track and field?
Not really.
Not really.
No, because
Name a
I'm
place.
no.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, because netball was one popular sport,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
as you know, I'm so short, so
5 feet,
didn't work
yes.
for me.
Research told me that you're 5 feet tall, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
5 feet tall, and you are such a powerhouse of a sprinter.
Yes, I think yes, I think it worked for me because I'm so short because I get out of the block so fast. As a matter
Hmm.
of fact, I was talking to Jackie the other day, and something came up, and we were talking about getting out of the block, and I don't know. I think she reminded me. Do you remember when we were on the European circuit prior to going into the village for the 1976 Olympics? What happened is you you have the training stadium, and if you want to go and practice your start, you can go and practice your start. lanes are there. You just go in with them, men, women, everybody just going at the same time. And so we were practicing starts, and
Mm-hmm.
Jackie and I got out of the block faster than these world class men, and Jackie started to laugh so hard. And I started to laugh also, but I did not know why. I mean, I was just laughing because Jackie was laughing so hard. Because what happened at the time, they had the electronic block. So as it record your reaction,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and of course, these are world-class men, including Donald, and I'm beating them out of the block. So Jackie was just laughing. Jackie, so I said, Jackie, why were you laughing so hard? And even in front of these men. And Jackie said, no, because I thought it was so funny. Look how little bit you're so small. You're so small and you're beating all these big.
Little Miss Dynamo. But look at Shelley and Fraser Price. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Looking back at the 2008 Olympics, Shelly Ann was the smallest in the field. She
Mm-hmm,
was a baby in the field, but she
mm-hmm,
got out so well
mm-hmm.
that it is catch me if you can. But before we go
Yes.
any further, your friends on the live, they're making fun of you. Dorothy is saying they wanted their friend Jackie to win Girls Champ, so they gave her a chance.
Okay.
So they're making fun of you. Sandy British, welcome, welcome, guys, welcome each and everyone. Vivian, everyone for being here. Uh, yes, they're saying that they wanted to give their friend Jackie a chance, but I love it. There's a good discussion going on there. Name me a place that you have never traveled to that you would travel to. You've never gone there, but you would love to go there.
Um,
I know that you guys have traveled a lot.
yeah, yeah. A place that I've never been to.
Been and you would love to go there.
More. Well, no, I don't. I remember I was supposed to go to China and I left my passport at home. So I didn't get a chance to go to China. At the time, I wanted to go to China, but now it's different.
Tell me a
So
little bit about living in Ghana, just briefly.
living in Ghana
Hmm.
is 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 an interesting, exciting. Just like living in Jamaica.
I've heard that. I've heard
The
that.
different,
I've heard
yeah,
that.
yeah. The difference is, well, there's no difference. But right now, living in Ghana, I have my own property where I can grow my own vegetables and all of that.
Wow.
So I have been eating from my vegetable garden, and so I like that. We are a little out of the away from
The
the
city.
city, but because of where we are and we have our transportation, it's okay because what actually we have a well, so we get our water. You pump the water from the ground, and
Wow.
it is set up where you get your regular water from the
Natural
well,
water.
natural spring water.
Clean water. Oh wow,
Clean
wow.
natural
Tyreek,
water.
welcome,
But
welcome.
it
Thank you for
is
being here.
sometimes it's a little hotter than I would like it to be. But
Okay,
I can
okay, I
stay
get it.
inside and turn on my air conditioner and I'm good.
Someone on the live is asking which city in Ghana you live.
It's called Oyuku, and that's
Oyuku.
Oyuku, Oyoko, and
Okay.
that's like 45 minutes away from Kumasi. And
All
Kumasi,
right.
and Kumasi is the Ashanti capital. So we're fairly close to the city because we have our own transportation and everything is just kind of normal.
What is the food like? The food, anything like Jamaica? Jerk, curry,
No, they eat a lot of fufu, where
fufu. What is fufu now?
it's a, how you say that?
Is it a
It's,
kind of meat?
no, it's a, like you say, flour. It's
Oh,
made of flour and plantain, and they would pound it and then make a pastry like, and then
so
you
it's a form of starch.
it's a starch. It's starch.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
and then
okay.
they cook a big pot of soup, and they eat it with it. You use your finger. They use their finger.
Oh,
They don't
like
use.
this.
Yes,
Okay, okay.
I'm still learning to do that.
Oh, they don't use knife and fork like us,
well,
really.
they do that, like in the city,
Okay.
but the customs, that's their custom to use their fingers to just eat.
Do you like it there?
Yeah.
Great,
Mhm.
lovely. I've never been to Africa. I would love to go somewhere in Africa. I don't care. I'd love to go to Kenya to see where the long distance, the middle and long distance runners train and stuff. So I'd love to go to Kenya to see that.
Yeah, it's
If your
okay.
story, if your life story was to be captured in a movie, who would you want to play the young you and the mature you? I could play the young you.
Yeah, the mature me.
Who would you want to play, the young you and the mature you?
Choosing from athlete,
Anywhere. Yeah,
anywhere, anybody.
choosing anybody you want to choose.
Maya Angelou, the
Maya
mature
Angelou.
me.
Okay. Wow. You love poetry.
I just appreciate her
Yes.
work.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Name one athlete that made you nervous when you line up with them in a race. Lilith, you must have one.
Well,
Just
all
name me one.
just one.
Just one.
Well,
We all have one of those. Who was your nerve?
well, well. When I had to run against Merlin on that 100 meters, I was really nervous. So maybe I could say my own homegirl Merlin,
So
Rosie.
were
Always.
you aware that Merlin would have been so dominant because she was just coming on the scene as a little girl at that time? Were
When
you knew about her before you
no,
guys
when
line
she
up?
no, when she no, she was really doing very well by
Mm-hmm.
then,
Mm-hmm.
beating everybody. So
Yeah.
she was already doing well. She came because by the time she got to school, where did she go? She went to
She
uh,
went to, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember the university. She's a
yes,
Veer girl.
yeah,
And
but
it's not LSU. I'm trying to
no, it's
remember.
Alabama. What, I don't remember. Jack. I mean, Heather. I mean, Dorothy should remember that. But
Dorothy maybe would remember.
but
And I
she
was just
was
looking at
she
it
was
yesterday.
already really running world class.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You see,
Okay, so it would be Marlene.
I mean, that's what I can because I'm just thinking back
What
on that.
about Evelyn? What about Evelyn Ashford?
If she made me nervous when we were
Mm-hmm.
running that meet, yes. But see, when you go to run, when you're running and you know you're running against world class people, you are going to be nervous.
True, true,
And the
true.
more nervous I am, is the better I run.
Okay, Vivian said Marlene went to Nebraska, right? Yes.
Nebraska. That's
Yeah, Nebraska. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Heather. Heather Pusey, my namesake, Heather. Thank you. If you were to race against a Jamaican male for a big prize, let's say
uh-oh.
they're going to set up a race between you and a Jamaican athlete. Let's say the prize is 100,000 US dollars. Who would you want to race against and why?
Hussein.
Okay, Mr.
Because
Bolt. But so you don't want to win the money if you run against you saying you're not going to win?
well, you see, the thing is, if you're putting me with those young guys coming up, I'm not as too expecting to win because that's a male. We're talking about much
True,
more
true,
muscle
true,
mass.
true, true.
So you got to be real. So if
Mm-hmm,
if they
mm-hmm.
beat me, I can say, okay, well, you're supposed to beat me. You're a world class athlete.
Yes, yes, yes.
And see, And he probably would have let me win.
Yeah, he's like that. He made Harry,
So that's
won
right.
that race. Yeah.
So that's
Thank you. Thanks to sorry, Lily. Thanks to everyone on the live who is, giving us that information on Merlene Otti that she went to Nebraska. Thank you guys so
Mhm.
much. Thank you for that. Thank you, Ozzy,
Mhm.
Heather, Sandy, Marlene, everyone. Thank you for that. If you are invited to the Olympics this year in Paris, to select a retired 4x100 meter team that includes you, who would be your teammate for that race and how would you set up that team? So you're invited to the Olympics this year and you're to carry a retired team, including yourself. Who would be your teammates for that 4x1?
To myself,
Yes, you would be on a team,
Rose,
yeah.
Rosie,
Rosie Allwood.
Allwood,
Okay.
um, myself, Rosie,
Mm-hmm.
and well, myself, Rosie, and who else do I have? What's her name? Shellyanne.
Shellyan. No, retired. A
Oh,
retired
no, you
team.
did say
Yes.
retired. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
retired
My
team.
bad.
Yeah.
Rosie, myself, um, probably Merlene.
Marlene. Okay. One
Mm,
more.
Hmm. Oh, I would
You would
say
put Jackie on that team?
Jackie.
Jackie Pusey or Grace Jackson.
No, I wouldn't put Grace on there for sure. That race is too short for Grace.
Yeah.
I probably would have put Jackie, but unless I'm going to put her on the anchor leg,
So how would you set up that team? How would you set up a
I
team
would be the
with
first one.
Jackie, Rosie,
And see,
and Marlene?
that's where it would be a problem. That's why I was skeptical to put Jackie on there, because you have Merlene running a good anchor leg, and you have Rosie running a good straight. And when you're going to set up a relay team, you want to use the best person to run the best position. You see, as it would make a world of difference, and I always say that. So Jackie would be running the straightaway, but I
So
already have
you would
two. So
start.
you have two straightaway people, because you have Merlene and you have Rosie.
So who would
See,
run the
that's
curve?
why, and
Who
that's why I'm hesitant right there, because I would not put Jackie on the curve at all. And I'm trying to think of who can negotiate the turn the way I
What
can.
about Vivian?
Um,
Vivian is a curve runner. Vivian, are you a curve runner?
I no, I need a really good curve runner to
Yeah,
put
you need
on
a
that
curve
leg,
runner.
and
Yes.
that's where I'm in trouble.
Lilith. I
Mm-hmm.
told you earlier that you're special, you are, because I
Mm-hmm.
like where you are going with the relay, and I like how you think when setting up your relay. It
Mm-hmm.
is finding people where they are good at a
Exactly.
leg.
Right. And it takes me back to that LA Olympic. Maybe if I never got pregnant, I probably would have gone to Jamaica and placed fifth in the relay, in the
In the
final,
100
the
final.
final, right? And on paper, if I'm the fifth person, that's really saying that I am the alternate.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
for Herb McKenzie would do everything he could to put me on that relay.
That relay
But
team.
yes, yes. And Jamaica, a lot of Jamaicans would not want that, because they don't understand the
The technicalities.
technicality of running a sprint relay. But I know that Uncle Herbie know that if you beat me on the straightaway, that does not mean you're going to beat me on that turn, because I know how to negotiate the turn like I'm running the straightaway. And so if you were to ask me today, if what do I think about that relay that they dropped the stick, I would have to tell you that if I was on that first leg, we're not going to drop that stick.
All right, before we go any further, all right, some people in the live, they're saying Juliet Cuthbert is a very good curve runner. Vivian is a very curve runner. So if you're to reset your team, it would be from you to
Rose,
Rosie on the
back
straight,
straight, yeah.
right? And then the curve to Marlene. But who would be your curve? But I like how you think with the relay.
Yes, I have never really I've never really studied how well Juliet runs the curve.
She runs it well.
I don't, and she was on our team that when we beat the US team in that world championship in 1983.
3.
And I'm trying to remember, that's what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
What leg did she run?
But
What
you know
leg did she run
something?
that relay? Because
But why wouldn't you put Merlene on the curve? Merlene is a very good curve runner. Merlene is one of the best curve runner we have seen
she is
out
one
of Jamaica.
she
So
is, she is, but I think think she has that determination to
on the
finish
anchor leg.
on the ankle leg, and you need that. You
Lilith,
need that.
Lilith,
So
you
because
are an expert at relay. I'm going
yeah,
to tell you that. You're an expert at relay. You
yeah,
are,
you
because
need determination. You have to have that fighting spirit. Because even Ruth, that Ruth exercised so much of a fighting spirit when she knew, because she knew that she was this. I think she was the slowest person on that leg of that sprint relay that we won. But she was fighting to run. She had that fighting spirit, and you have to have the relay is not just going out there and run. It takes a lot. You have to concentrate, and so
yes,
yeah.
yes. We need to get it together. But my
Mhm.
next question is, if you are invited to the Olympics this year to select a mixed relay team from Jamaica, 2 men, 2 women, including you, who would be on your 4x1 team? 2 men, 2 women, you're on that team. Tell me about your team and who would run where.
And where am I getting
It's a Jamaican mixed relay team, 2 men, two
but
women.
they're you're talking about the
They're
athletes.
retired. Yeah,
Oh,
they're retired.
retired athlete.
Yes, retired.
2 women, 2 men, 2 women.
Yes, you are one of the women. So it would be you, another
Fighting.
female, and 2 men.
Yeah.
Who would your teammates be?
Mhm.
Four
I would
by one.
I would put I would start and I put Rosie on the back straight. I put Donald on the third leg. And then which other guy? And then I would question who to put on the backs
On the
on
anchor.
the ankle leg.
Yes, you need another male.
Mm-hmm.
You know something, while you're thinking about that, I'm going to say something. I think I get the feeling that you study our athletes, because you heard what you said about Donald Corey. Put him on the curve. He's one of the best curve runner on the male side for Jamaica. And when you said put him, because that's what I was thinking, I would put Donald Corey on my third leg. And as you said, Rosie is a very good backstretch
Mm-hmm.
runner.
Mm-hmm.
So she would be there, you start. So who would you anchor with? Look at all the retired
I'm
males that
trying to
we have and
remember.
pick one. You, you can even pick a quarter miler, because I mean we have quarter milers running 4x1.
Yeah, but yeah, but
Mhm.
no, I would want I would want to put Lennox Miller on the anchor leg, but
Lennox
I don't.
Miller,
Yeah, it's
okay.
something that I really don't even.
Okay, Ethelyn Tate is saying she would put Raymond Stewart. Daniel England saying he would put Dennis Johnson.
Oh,
Vivian saying
well, I
she would
never.
put Usain Bolt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I forget about Hussein? No,
Yes. Oh, do you forget
my
about your
bad. My
guy?
bad.
And that's your guy.
But I wouldn't put
But
Dennis Johnson.
yeah, you would put Dennis Johnson? No, not Dennis on the anchor leg.
No, no.
Okay, okay. Well, it's your team,
No, but
so
yeah, and the honest truth is, I don't know how. I don't know much about him in terms
okay.
of his
Heather
performance and
Pusey is
how he will.
saying she would put Colin Bradford.
Yeah.
Do you know that name?
Yes.
Colin Bradford. Yeah, she
Mhm.
said she would put him on the anchor leg. Thank you guys. Thank you for participating. On the anchor leg, there's so many people that I would put. I mean,
Yeah.
we could even put a Bert Cameron or
No.
Mr. Herb
No, I wouldn't
McKinley
put Bert. No, I
or
wouldn't
Mr.
put
Herb
Bert.
McKinley, Mr. Herb McKinley, or even
Yeah,
George Roden.
yeah, one of those, but, but
Yeah,
those are after my time, and so it's harder for me to
yeah,
remember how well
yeah.
they negotiated the turn or,
Mm-hmm.
run the trade. So it's a little. That's why I didn't even go
All
that
right, listen,
far back.
listen. All right, listen to this one now. You're going to set up another relay team.
Oh,
You're invited to the Olympics this year to set up a mixed nationality female team to run at the Olympics. A mixed nationality, so four
different
different
countries.
countries. So you will be the Jamaican. Where will you get your other three women from to make up this team? And how would you set up your team?
Okay.
I love this.
Well, no, I don't love this because I'm not remembering my names,
I
the
can
names
help
of
you.
those people who really I know.
I can help you.
Um,
After you tell me your team, I will tell you mine.
and those people have to be retired or what?
Yes, these are all retired Olympic teams.
Mm.
Ozzy Dixon is asking how old are the retirees. It doesn't matter. The age doesn't
Well, see,
matter.
that's the thing. It does matter because
Once they're retired,
I've
it
never
doesn't.
seen, for me to make that decision, I would
Mm-hmm.
need to know how well this person run the straightaway, how well this
Mm-hmm.
person run the turn, because that is going to determine what leg each person run.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, see, so that's
Yeah.
why it is so hard for me.
The question before, Ruth is saying her team would have been Donald Quarry,
Miller.
Lennox Miller,
Yeah, that's
Rosie, and yourself. Yeah.
right. So that's
Mhm.
what I'd said for that team.
Yeah. Hmm.
Lennox, Rosie, and
Yeah.
so that
Dorothy is saying she would put Billy on the anchor.
Billy.
Yes.
Oh, Lennox
Billy.
Miller is the same
She
person.
said Billy. Who can you
Who's
guys
Bill?
refresh my memory? Who is Billy? I'm learning
Because
tonight.
I
I'm
know Billy
learning.
Miller is the same as Lennox Miller, so I'm not sure if
Okay,
she's
maybe
talking about
maybe
the
that's the
same person.
person. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
it's the
that's the
same person.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the age of the retiree, it doesn't matter. Once they've retired from the sport.
Yes, but the thing about it is that if I don't know how well they run the turn, it would be hard
True.
for me to put them on a relay team because
True, true.
just because they were running and they were running well, that does not mean that they would run. I can just take them and say, "Oh, you go and run the third
Listen,
leg."
we need you as, and I
Exactly.
hope, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this video and post it with us talking about the relay because you sound like a relay genius. But yes, tell me about your mixed nationality female team, 4x1 team. You're from Jamaica, so I want three more countries.
Flo Joe on the third
Flojo. Okay, so
on the
that's
anchor leg.
America. So that's
Yeah.
America. Okay.
Um. Geez.
And remember, they can come from any era. It doesn't matter.
But they have to be retired,
Yes,
not,
retired.
not running anymore.
Hmm. So we have you from Jamaica. We have Florence
I would
Griffiths
put
Joyner from the US.
right. Um. I don't know. I
What
don't.
about Pauline Thompson Davis from the Bahamas?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't
she was
watched.
after you. Yeah, she was
She
after
was
you.
right, and I don't know how well she. I'm not.
Where to place her?
Yes, and that's my problem. I can give you names. I can just throw names out there, but you're not. But you're talking about a relay.
Mm-hmm.
that you
Mm-hmm.
have to be selective. You have to make sure you put the person who can run the turn on the
Mm-hmm.
turn, and the person who can run the straightaway on the straightaway. So it's kind of hard for me.
All right. All right.
You
All right.
know,
I'm going to break it down a little bit. Make it two Jamaicans, two Americans.
two Jamaicans, two Americans.
Yes. And a 4x1 female team. That one should be a little easier.
Yeah, Flojo.
Mm-hmm. Where would you put Flojo? On the
I
ankle?
could put her on the ankle leg. Yes. Um. Okay, myself. And so I need one more from
One more from Jamaica, one more from US.
America.
Yeah.
I would still put my Rosie.
Rosie, okay, Rosie.
On the
Hey,
back.
Rosie, wherever you are, Rosie Allwood. Hello, hello. Yeah, so if you and Rosie from Jamaica,
And
Flojo from America, who's the next American?
I would probably put Moorhead.
Moorhead. Okay,
Moorhead,
okay, that's a
Brenda
good
Moorhead
pick.
on the turn because she runs the turn well.
So it would be you to Rosie to Moorhead
Moorhead.
to Flojo. Yeah, that's a good setup. Yes, yes. What is your favorite Olympic moment for Jamaica from 1948 to date? Pick one moment that you loved.
And it's Olympic moment.
Olympic moments.
The 19. Well,
When you look back at the Olympics for Jamaica,
yeah.
just tell me one of those moments that you really enjoyed above the others.
When the Donald run his see
Oh, in 1976.
mhm.
With Donald Quarry winning the
When
200.
Donald run that, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that 200. Yep.
yes. That was, yes, a very, 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 very interesting moment. A lively, happy moment when we all tried to sing the national anthem, even if we couldn't sing. Yeah. But that was, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And my last question to you is we have athletes with dreams, with passion, but they're struggling to realize their dream because of the lack of resources. I want you to take a minute just to say a few encouraging words to these potential athletes who are struggling. What would you say to them?
Don't give up. Don't give up. And I would say the path in life with no obstacle leads to nowhere. I strongly believe that when you get something and you get it so easily, then you take a lot for granted. So those athletes who are struggling right now, and that is why we have a little group, as you know, and we are trying to find athletes like that to help. So I just would tell them, don't give up. Just keep on because your day will come. Your determination will pay off. You just have to be determined to accomplish and work at it. There are going to be bad times. There are going to be good times. You just have to make the best of what you have in your circumstances and keep fighting and be determined.
Well said. Well said. LELEITH Hodges. Finally, I get to meet this lady. I mean, I grew up hearing these names, all of you who have been Olympians and doing it well for Jamaica. I just grew up hearing the names. And when I do my research, I read. And to be here in a discussion with you, it is a big deal for me. And, I personally just want to tell you from my platform, thank you for your contribution to Jamaica's rich track and field legacy. You have done us proud. You've done your school proud. You've done your university proud. You've done your country proud. And most of all, you've done you proud. So,
Yes.
LELEITH Hodges, thank you so much for taking this time out to come and share your story with us. And before we go, I just want to give you the last words in closing.
In track and field, there are many ups and downs,
Mm-hmm,
twists
mm-hmm.
and turns. There are going to be happy moments, there are going to be sad. As a matter of fact, one of my worst moments happened right in Kingston, Jamaica, where I remember a track we were at a track meet there, and Carl Belnave said, "Okay, I'm going to start the race. If there's a false start, I am going to blow the whistle because due to shortage of bullets, he said, I'm going to blow the whistle." And you turn, you stop. If you hear the whistle, you stop. Now, Jackie was coming up, just a young athlete coming up, and Jackie was fast. And what used to happen, because I'm so fast out of the block, I would, when the race starts, I would be way ahead of Jackie. And by the time we get to like 50, 60 meters, she's closing the gap. But as you know, the race ends at 100 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So she was up. But what used to happen is that the crowd used to like her, want her to beat me, and you have some of my people want me to beat her. So there's always a noise coming from the stand. This day, someone false started, and I took off running, and I heard the noise. The whistle, he blew the whistle. I did not hear the whistle, but I heard the noise, and I picked up speed and run as hard as I can, run the race all by myself.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was so, I was so embarrassed, and I started to cry. So you have moments like that in dragon
Yeah.
flu, but you don't let that dictate your upward mobility. You know that there are going to be crying times, you're going to be losing sometimes, you're going to be winning sometimes, but just be determined to do the best you can.
Indeed, indeed. LELEITH Hodges, Olympian, 1972, 1976, 1980. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing a little bit of you with us. And of course, the crowd, they loved it.
Mm,
Carrie Ann Phillips is saying, great interview.
mm,
Sandy British mentioned Mary Jose Perec earlier when we were talking about the relay. Perec is actually from what, the 90s.
mm,
I think. Thank you guys so much for being here. Heather Pusey, thank you so much. Heather Pusey is the sister of Jackie Pusey. Thank you guys for being here. Olympian Vivian Morano, Olympian Dorothy Scott, Olympian Ethlyn Tate, Olympian everybody, Ruth Williams Simpson, Vilma Charlton, so many Olympians were here tonight, so many great athletes. Thank you very much. Regina Montague, another outstanding athlete for Titchfield in her time, and of course a great track and field coach at Dintil High School a few years back. Guys, thank you so much for being here. It was a great interview, it was a great show.
mm.
LELEITH Hodges, thank you very much for being here. And of course, next week I will be back here with another Olympian telling her story. I'm not going to tell you who she is, but she is I think she's a four-time Olympian, and she will be here next week to tell her story. And of course, after that, we will have the great Miss Vilma Charlton telling her story. So, Olympians, thank you very much. Athletes, thank you very much. Ruth Williams Simpson said, great job, good job, teammate and roommate. That's
Yes.
you, LELEITH. Yes, you guys were teammates and roommates at
Yes.
Texas.
Yes.
Texas.
Bear with
And
me.
Ruth Williams, I heard about you on that 4x100 meter
Mm, mm, mm.
relay team. Great
Yes.
job. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
They say. Ethlyn Tate, thank you. Vivian, everyone, thank you for being here. And join me next week with another outstanding Olympian as she shares her story. This is what we're about. And guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.